The three best movies about ancient Greece. Ancient Greece, a land of myths, legends, and unparalleled history, has been a rich source of inspiration for the film industry. Its tales of heroes, gods, and epic battles have been depicted in numerous films, each offering a unique perspective on the ancient civilization. Today, we delve into the three best movies about ancient Greece, exploring their narratives, characters, and the way they bring the ancient world to life. Number 3, Alexander, 2004. Director, Oliver Stone. Cast, Colin Farrell, Angelina Jolie, Val Kilmer, Jared Leto, Anthony Hopkins. Alexander is a biographical drama that chronicles the life and conquests of Alexander the Great, one of the most influential figures of the ancient world. The film explores his tumultuous journey, from his childhood to his unprecedented military campaigns across Asia and Africa, depicting his complex relationships, relentless spirit, and the internal and external conflicts he faced. Script. The film opens with a young Alexander, portrayed by Colin Farrell, being tutored by the philosopher Aristotle, instilling in him a thirst for knowledge and a love for Homer's epics. The narrative unfolds, showcasing his strained relationship with his father, King Philip II, and his close bond with his mother, Olympias, played by Angelina Jolie. The battle scenes in Alexander are monumental, illustrating the tactical genius and the unyielding courage that led to the creation of one of the largest empires in history. The film delves deep into Alexander's psyche, exploring his ambitions, his vulnerabilities, and his quest for immortality, offering a multifaceted portrayal of a man who was both a visionary and a conqueror. But it remains unclear if Alexander has united those peoples or simply conquered them, and his sexuality is made murky by the film's shyness about gay love, and its ambiguity about Alexander's relationships with his barbarian bride and his tigress mother. We welcome the scenes of battle, pomp, and circumstance because, at least for a time, we are free of socio-political concepts and the endless narration of Ptolemy the historian, who functions here like the Bill Curtis of antiquity. No tyrant ever gave back so much. The facts are quickly summarized. Alexander Colin Farrell is the son of Philip of Macedonia, Val Kilmer, and Queen Olympias, Angelina Jolie. As a boy, he sees his drunken father all but rape his mother, who for her part insists Alexander's actual father is Zeus, but doesn't give details. Young Alexander impresses his father by taming an intractable horse, but both mother and son are banished from the kingdom, Olympias advising her son to seize the throne before Philip has him murdered. As things work out, Philip is murdered, and Alexander rules Macedonia. Still a very young man, he sets out to conquer the known world. Told by Aristotle, Christopher Plummer, where the world ends, he finds it keeps on going, and so he keeps on conquering, defeating the other Greek city-states, the Persians, and all the other peoples he confronts, until he is finally defeated not so much by the rulers of India as by India itself. He dies at 33. Alexander was undoubtedly a military genius. He was practically invincible on the battlefield. One more issue with the movie, that it tells nothing about Alexander's brilliant strategy. We will know all about his love life, relationships, virtually every nuance, but only some hints, some clues about his real genius. Number 2, Troy, 2004. Director, Wolfgang Petersen. Cast, Brad Pitt, Eric Bana, Orlando Bloom, Diane Kruger, Brian Cox. Synopsis. Troy, inspired by Homer's Iliad, is a sweeping epic that recounts the 10-year siege of Troy by the Greek forces. It is a tale of love, honor, and betrayal, centered around the legendary heroes Achilles and Hector, and the beautiful Helen, whose face launched 1,000 ships. Script. Brad Pitt stars as the formidable Achilles, whose prowess in battle is unmatched, yet his pride and arrogance are his greatest foes. Eric Bana portrays Hector, the noble prince of Troy, who is torn between his duty to his city and his family. The chemistry between the characters is palpable, and the conflict is intensified by the forbidden love between Paris, played by Orlando Bloom, and Helen, played by Diane Kruger. The battle sequences in Troy are breathtaking, with meticulously choreographed combat and stunning visuals, bringing the brutality and the valor of ancient warfare to the screen. The film explores themes of destiny, legacy, and the human condition, questioning the true cost of glory and the enduring impact of our actions. What the movie doesn't explain is why Helen would leave with Paris after an acquaintanceship of a few nights. Is it because her loins throb with passion for a hero? No, because she tells him, "I don't want a hero, I want a man I can grow old with." Not in Greek myth, you don't. If you believe Helen of Troy could actually tell Paris anything remotely like that, you will probably also agree that the second night he slipped into her boudoir, she told him, "Last night was a mistake." The seduction of Helen is the curtain raiser for the main story, which involves vast Greek armies laying siege to the impenetrable city. Chief among their leaders is Achilles, said to be the greatest warrior of all time, but played by Brad Pitt as if he doesn't believe it. If Achilles was anything, he was a man who believed his own press releases. Heroes are not introspective in Greek drama. They do not have second thoughts, and they are not conflicted. Achilles is all of these things. He mopes on the flanks of the Greek army with his own independent band of fighters, carrying out a separate diplomatic policy, kind of like Ollie North. He thinks Agamemnon is a poor leader with bad strategy and doesn't really get worked up until his beloved cousin Patroclus, Garrett Hedlund, is killed in battle. Patroclus, who looks a little like Achilles, wears his helmet and armor to fool the enemy, and until the helmet is removed, everyone thinks that Achilles has been slain. So dramatic is that development that the movie shows perhaps 100,000 men in hand-to-hand combat, and then completely forgets them in order to focus on the Patroclus battle scene, with everybody standing around like during a fight on the playground. Pitt is a good actor and a handsome man, and he worked out for 6 months to get buff for the role, but Achilles is not a character he inhabits comfortably. Say what you will about Charlton Heston and Victor Mature, but one good way to carry off a sword and sandal epic is to be filmed by a camera down around your knees, while you intone quasi-formal prose in a heroic baritone. Pitt is modern, nuanced, introspective. He brings complexity to a role. Number 1, The 300, 2006. Director, Zack Snyder. Cast, Gerard Butler, Lena Headey, David Wenham, Dominic West. Synopsis: The 300 is a stylized retelling of the Battle of Thermopylae, where King Leonidas and 300 Spartans fought against the mighty Persian army. It is a visceral and visually striking depiction of courage, sacrifice, and the indomitable human spirit. Script: Gerard Butler delivers a powerful performance as King Leonidas, whose resolve and leadership inspire his men to face insurmountable odds. The film's distinctive visual style, characterized by high contrast and saturated colors, enhances the mythic quality of the story, immersing the audience in a world where every frame is a masterpiece. The combat scenes in The 300 are a ballet of violence and grace, showcasing the discipline and the ferocity of the Spartan warriors. The film examines the ideals of freedom and honor, celebrating the resilience of the few against the tyranny of the many, and leaving a lasting impression of what it means to truly live and die for something greater than oneself. Although real actors play the characters and their faces are convincing, I believe their bodies are almost entirely digital creations. They have Schwarzeneggerian biceps, and every last one of them, even the graybeards, wear well-defined six-packs on their abs. I can almost believe the star, Gerard Butler, may have been working out at Gold's Gym ever since he starred as the undernourished Phantom of the Opera, but not 300, 200, or even 100 extras. As a result, every single time I regarded the Spartans in a group, I realized I was seeing artistic renderings, not human beings. Well, maybe that was the idea. The movie presents other scenes of impossibility. Look at the long shots of the massed Persians. There are so many they would have presented a logistical nightmare, how to feed and water them. Consider the slave-borne chariot that Xerxes pulls up in. It is larger than the imperial throne in the Forbidden City, with a wide staircase leading up to Xerxes. Impressive, but how could such a monstrosity be lugged all the way from Persia to Greece? I am not expected to apply such logic, I know, but the movie flaunts its preposterous effects. And what about Xerxes, Rodrigo Santoro himself? He stands around 8 feet tall, I guess, which is good for 500 BC. Santoro's height in life, 6 feet, 2.75 inches. He towers over Leonidas, Butler, so we know his body isn't really there. But what of his face? I'm just about prepared to believe that the ancient Persians went in for the piercing of ears, cheeks, eyebrows, noses, lips, and chins. But his eyebrow have been plucked and redrawn into black arches that would make Joan Crawford envious. And what about the mascara and the cute little white lines on the eyelids? When the Spartans described the Athenians as philosophers and boy lovers, I wish they had gone right ahead to discuss the Persians. These three films, Alexander, Troy, and The 300, each offer a unique and captivating glimpse into ancient Greece, blending historical events with artistic interpretation. They transport us to a time of heroes and legends, allowing us to experience the grandeur, the tragedy, and the eternal allure of this fascinating civilization. Whether it's the intricate portrayal of Alexander the Great's life, the tragic and epic tale of the Trojan War, or the stylized and impactful representation of the Battle of Thermopylae, each film succeeds in evoking the essence of ancient Greece, making them timeless classics in the genre of historical drama. But there are nuances, big nuances, so I can only advise watch them and enjoy them.